Good Thursday evening again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Tailgate Talk Nebraska. With us here, we are live in, we're live in Jeff Green's house. Where's Jeff? Just doesn't happen to be here. Out in Colorado with us via satellite, Brian Denton. And with me right now is one of the stars of Brokeback Mountain, Brian Cook. And we would like to welcome you all in here to another exciting edition of Tailgate Talk Nebraska. Football season kicking off last Thursday night. You had the Hall of Fame game between the Panthers and the Cardinals. Tonight, there are 6 games on the slate. If you are a big-time preseason person to watch football, tune in because it's preseason time, which means we are only a few short weeks from the main event and getting ready for the big show. So tonight, not a lot happening in college right now. They're starting to get back to school. They're starting their practices. They're starting to do that kind of stuff. We're going to focus a lot on the NFL tonight, and we're going to give you our breakdown of how we can see with additions, with losses, with coaches changing and everything else. We're going to run through each division. We're going to kind of see how everybody sees it coming out. And why not, guys? Let's start in Brian's favorite division, the NFC East. I get these magazines before the beginning of the year, and I kind of read through them, just kind of see what's going on. This one here has the NFC East finishing this way, and then we'll break it down our way after that. Philadelphia winning the NFC East. Dallas finishing second. The Giants third. The Commanders fourth. I know you're going to agree, and I think we all would agree, Eagles should win the NFC East this year, Brian.
Yeah, I think that they still own that division, honestly, until somebody comes up and takes it from them. Which is kind of interesting because that division is historically flip-flopped all over the place. Dallas would win it a year, Philly would win it a year, and then somebody else would sneak up. I do think the Giants are going to make a little bit more noise than what people think. I think that's a good young team with a great coach now. I just don't buy Dallas.
No.
If I was to just change that around, I think it's going to come down to Philly winning the division, and then I would almost put the Giants at 2, and then the Dallas Cowboys at 3rd. Maybe they'll flip-flop with even Washington. It's hard to say what Washington's going to be. I just don't buy Dallas, and I've heard a lot of people saying Dallas is going to win that division. I don't see it at all. But Philly's got the best roster in the league, or in that league, for sure.
Yes. Brian, you've got yours wrote down.
Yeah. Well, I got Philly running away with the division. I do have the Giants number 2. Again, like Brian said, they got good young talent. I like Isaiah Likely being added tight end there. I got Dallas number 3, but I don't think they're going to be as bad as Brian thinks. I think that Dak Prescott's got his receivers, George Pickens, C.D. Lamb, and a running back that's pretty doggone good this year. I think they're well built. And Washington 4th. I just don't buy bringing in a cancer receiver that's going to help them at all. And Jaden Daniels won't stay healthy.
Yeah, go ahead, Derek.
I'm looking at it like this, and yes, you're right. Philadelphia does have the best roster in the NFC East right now on both sides of the ball. You look at guys like Saquon and Devonta Smith, and that offensive line, the defense is really good. I don't think they run away with the division, and I think the Giants are going to be the ones nipping at their heels this year. I really do, and I'll say that with Jeff being gone because I don't want to say it with him here because he is a Giants fan, and I don't want him to be like, go blue. But I like that young talent. The only thing that scares me about the Giants, their defensive backfield. Their secondary is very susceptible, and front 7, they're strong. I would say they're almost as strong as Philadelphia in the front 7 on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, though, they're weaker in the running game. I mean, Scatterboo gives them a little bit of a boost coming out. I don't know that, Jackson Dart, can he win games with his arm more than his legs? But I'm going to disagree with you on the Cowboys. I got the Cowboys finishing last in the NFC East, and I got the Commanders going up to third. I think they're going to have a decent season. Jaden Daniels, he had the sophomore slump last year, but I really, really think that they're going to come through and do some things this year. I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs, but I think they'll finish with a higher finish than Dallas.
I honestly agree with you there. I don't think anybody runs away with this division, even Philly.
Yeah.
Even though they're heads and tails above everybody roster-wise, I think there's going to be a lot of questions in Philadelphia's secondary that's going to cause some issues possibly. If their front seven stays healthy, that's going to be a helpful thing, but they always have some injuries on the front seven. And it's going to be I think this is going to be Jalen Hurts' year that he can prove himself. Everybody's going to be like, well, he had a great receiving core. He has a great running back. Now that A.J. Brown is gone, even though A.J. Brown was a cancer, and I didn't buy into it, I thought when he needed a catch, he went to Devontae Smith. He didn't go to A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
I think this is the year that Jalen Hurts could really prove himself as a good quarterback because nobody's really buying it. It doesn't look good every week, but the guy still wins. What can you ask for more than that? You know what I mean?
An offensive line that protects him. That's why, Brian, the offensive line is the key to Philadelphia's success in offense.
And that's going to be another point. Philadelphia's offensive line's getting old. You got Landon Dickerson's getting older. He's getting at the end of his career. It's just they're going to start having to rejuvenate that offensive line, and have they done it well enough? That's going to be another thing. They've had some injuries on offensive line, and that's when they struggle.
And
Honestly,
that's going to be the whole key right there, too. Can that offensive line stay healthy for a whole season? If they lose a couple guys on that offensive line and have to try to plug and play some of those backups, I'm not sure the backups can give that run blocking to Saquon, can give that pass blocking to Jalen. And that's, depending on what game it is, that could be crucial to them as far as like winning, losing.
If you look at last year, Saquon started off slow, really slow, but the offensive line was also hurt at the beginning of the year too.
Yeah.
But and then Saquon kind of started building momentum at the end of the year. He still had a great year. But I'm cautious to say that Philly's gonna run away with the division, even though they should probably run away with the division. It's just because they're getting older, and are they really rejuvenating that team like they should? That's my only question.
Yep. All right, well, let's move on to the NFC North. And right here, they've got Detroit taking the NFC North. They've got Minnesota second, Chicago third, and Green Bay fourth. Brian, we'll go to you to start this one off.
It's the toughest division in football. I have no doubt from top to bottom, this division is better than the East, even the West, because the West could be run away with it. But Detroit Lions have the coach. If Jamar Gibbs stays healthy, they'll finish number one. And Chicago, real impressed with the coach they brought in. If they continue to run the ball with DeAndre Swift, I think Chicago's finished number two. I got Green Bay at 3 as long as Jordan Love stays healthy. And Minnesota, which is a quarterback controversy. I know everybody's on the high bandwagon with Kyler, the former Oklahoma quarterback. I got them fourth. So I got Detroit, Chicago, Green Bay, Minnesota, that order.
Okay.
I can agree with you on Detroit. I agree with Detroit winning that division. I really do. And you got Jamar Gibbs. Last year it was Gibbs and Montgomery. They were, what they call themselves, Sonic and Hedgehog or whatever, or Sonic and Crash or whatever it was. So what do? David Montgomery leaves and go to the Texans. I think it was Texans. Yeah.
Yes, it was. Thank you.
So you bring in another. I'm just going to run as hard as I freaking can in Isaiah Pacheco. So you've got that guy too. You still got Amon-Ra St. Brown. And that defense, I think, is getting better. You still got Aiden Hutchinson. Jared Goff is a respectable quarterback. But your second place team is my fourth place team.
Wow.
The Bears, I'm not sold on Caleb Williams. I mean, if you look at some of the games they won last year, should they have won them?
No, they should not.
Right. So that's what propelled them to have a great season. And I look at it like this. 2 years ago, the Commanders were winning those type of games under the rookie Jaden Daniels. They were coming out. They were winning those last second games. They were doing this last year at Chicago. I think Caleb Williams is going to take a big step back. I think he's going to worry more about what color am I going to paint my nails this week over what do I need to do to get ready for this game. I think second place is going to go to the Packers, and I think Minnesota will finish third in that division. I see 3 teams coming out of the NFC North into the playoffs. So I see Green Bay, Minnesota, and the eventual champion of that division in Detroit. I think Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, if Micah Parsons comes back and he can be healthy, he's going to be disruptive on that defensive line. Minnesota, they do have a lot of weapons out there. I just don't know if Kyler Murray and J.J. McCarthy can lead them up and above those other 2 teams. Brian?
I agree with you, Derek. I think the team that's going to take the biggest step back is Chicago. I think Chicago takes a step back. Like you said, they won a lot of close games they shouldn't have. They did lose DJ Moore as a receiver as well, who was kind of a safety blanket besides Loveland. Loveland was a good safety blanket for Caleb Williams, but last year was just like a Cinderella year for them, I think. I just don't see it happening again. But I agree with you. Where's everybody getting that Green Bay is going to be last in that division? I don't see it.
No.
They're gonna have Micah Parsons coming back after a few weeks. That defense was fairly decent last year without him. You know, I think Love's a better quarterback than Caleb Williams. Now, is their running back room going to stay healthy? That'll be another aspect. Or do they have enough receiver weapons? But I would say that Detroit should win that division.
Yeah.
I would say that if you look at paper right now, Detroit should win that division. If they don't, I say it goes as a bad year for them. Honestly, I don't see why they shouldn't. Detroit, then I would say Green Bay second, Minnesota, and then Chicago. I think Minnesota's going to be decent. I think they're going to be on the cusp of like getting into the playoffs. I think that there's going to be 3 teams come out of one of the divisions, but I don't think it's the North. I think it's going to be the other one. So,
yeah, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I mean, all of these that we're talking about is going to depend on, do these teams stay healthy? You know,
right.
One key player goes down for any of these teams we've been talking about. I mean, it could just flip-flop everything altogether here. But now to the division that you can just draw names out of a hat to see who you think's going to win this, the NFC South. And they have Carolina winning it, Atlanta second, Tampa Bay third, and the Saints fourth. Now, in my opinion, this could be a division that will send one team to the playoffs, and that team could have a losing record. They could be 8-9 going to the playoffs out of this division.
Yep.
Everybody is hyped up on the Panthers. They won it last year. Bryce Young coming in another year. They do have some decent young talent. My thought on this division, though, I see Atlanta winning this division. They have Tua. If he stays healthy, you've got Penix back behind him. 2 decent quarterbacks. I'm not saying great or good. Decent quarterbacks. But you have Bijan Robinson, who is arguably one of the top running backs in the league, if not the top running back right now. Kyle Pitts, I think he's going to make great strides this year, that tight end. And then you've got Drake London on the outside as your top receiver. The only thing that scares me is this division. Tampa Bay lost too much on the defensive side of the ball. Devin White, Levante David, they just lost way too much on the defensive side of the ball. They do still have, I think they still have Winfield. I'd have to check that. But there's really no defense in this division. None of those 4 teams have any good defense. ETN jumped from the Jags over to the Saints. But is Tyler Shaw really the guy you want, or Shuck, whatever, leading your team to try to make it to the playoffs? I don't think so. I mean, Baker is probably the best quarterback in this division, but I still have Atlanta just because of the talent. Even though Godwin, Ibuka, Bucky Irving are good, I just think Atlanta will get the job done. I've got Tampa coming in a close second, followed by Carolina, followed by New Orleans.
Well, I agree. Atlanta's going to win that division by default. By default, because they're not a great team. They got Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, like you mentioned. The quarterbacks, not sold on those. I got Carolina second. They'll take a slight fall from last year. I got New Orleans third. I like what they did with the running backs there. Tampa Bay and the Baker Mayfield drama thing is going to bring the Buccaneers down. I mean, you got an arrogant quarterback like Baker Mayfield, former Oklahoma quarterback, believe it or not. I think Tampa Bay finished 4th.
Brian?
I agree on paper. I would say that Atlanta should win that division. I just don't know if Tua doesn't get it done with that roster, he needs to retire. I'm sorry, but it needs to be done. But he also had a great surrounding cast in Miami, and he couldn't get it done either. So I think Atlanta should win that division. I think that probably second would be Carolina. I would have to agree. I think Carolina's going to be on the 500, sub 500, just shy of 500. I have I'd say Tampa Bay finishing third, and then I would say probably the Saints finishing last. I honestly think Tampa, that's a sinking ship, unfortunately. I think there's going to be a lot of changes in Tampa after the year. Baker's not going to be there after the end of the year, if he's even there for the full year. And then I think that'll be Greg Bowles' exit. I think he'll be out after the end of the year. I think there's just way too much drama, too much turnover in Tampa for them to make a run. Tampa's run is over, I think, there in that division.
Yeah, and I don't think it has anything to do, a lot of people are like, oh, well, they lost Mike Evans. Evans was kind of on the downhill slide of his career anyway, but, you do still have some talent on that offensive side of the ball. Bucky Irving is a really good running back. Ibuka had a good year last year. Godwin, if he can stay healthy. Cade Otton, there are some pieces there. They did pick up that Anzalone from Detroit, the linebacker. But Vita Vea doesn't want to play there. He wants traded. He wants out. So that takes your best interior lineman out of there and a really good run stopper. So, yeah, I think that division, you're going to see teams anywhere from 8-9 to 5-12. They're just all going to be stacked up right there, and it's going to be who can win those key games at the moment. And like the rest of us, I think Atlanta will do that.
That division kind of always is that way. That it just seems like that division always ends up the last week decides who wins that division. And last year was one of the weirdest things I've seen, the way the division ended up wrapping up. But yeah, it's just that's a bad division. And I think that the biggest loss for Tampa is going to be Levante David. He was he was the quarterback of that defense for
Yep.
years, and you lose that guy, and then it takes a learning curve to get somebody back.
Yep. Brian, I don't know if you have the things up. Is anybody chiming in on who they think is going to win some of these?
Let me look here.
I don't know if Laura's watching
Not yet.
tonight. I know she's a
Not yet.
big Lions fan, but she said she was going to tune in tonight, so I didn't know if anybody was chiming in. If you're out there watching in Facebook land, chime in. Let us know who you think, if you think we're making picks that you don't agree with. And I know there's probably some Bears fans out there that are like, you're picking my team last. Look how great they did last year. Well, let's go back to sleep. Anyway, let's go to the NFC West. And probably one of the most powerful divisions in football this year. They have the Rams, Seattle, San Fran, and I say the power, and then you got Arizona behind that. And, you know, again, on paper, do you agree, Brian, that the Rams are one of the top teams in the league?
Oh yeah, and it sounds like Aaron Donald's coming back too. He's practicing with the team, so that if that doesn't say anything, I would say by the end of the preseason we're going to see him in a uniform. Yeah, by far they're the best team in that division on paper.
Now I know Brian's going to sit here and say that they've got the greatest coach in Sean McVay. He's liked the guy forever, and you know that's going to be what's going to lead them to the Super Bowl if they make it there. You know, to be honest, so going back to you, Brian, the Rams, Seattle, San Fran, and Arizona, that's kind of how I see it finishing because I can't trust San Francisco to stay healthy, everybody to stay healthy for a whole year. That's why I would think they're going to end third. That's the team out of the West I don't see going to the playoffs besides Arizona.
See, I see it differently. I think out of the North, I think the one that's going to get left out is Minnesota. And I think San Francisco is going to do just enough to get in the playoffs. But I do agree with the way that it lays out. I think LA wins the division. And then you got Seattle getting second. And then I would say San Fran third. Obviously, Arizona last. I don't know. San Francisco is going to be interesting this year. It's going to be interesting. They brought back Debo. I don't know what that's going to do for them. They brought in Mike Evans. I know Mike Evans is getting old at the end of his career, but he's not going to be asked to be like a number one guy. So is he going to have a resurgence kind of like D-Hop did there for a while? You know, it's going to be interesting, but they're also going to rely on McCaffrey a lot. And how long is that ticking time bomb going to stay? Last year, he made it through the year all year. I just don't know if he makes it through the year all year this year. But I do think the three teams come out of the West.
Well, one of my daughters just chimed in to me on a text saying that the Packers were going to take it all this year. The one thing that I did not pass on to my daughters was football knowledge. So that's why she said that. Madison, I know you're watching. I appreciate that, but and I know Jason's a Packers fan, and that's okay. We still accept him, but yeah, they're not gonna take it all anyway. Brian, how do you see the West shaping up?
Well, I see it same way you guys do. Rams,
Because of McVay.
No, but despite McVay, I'm just kind of curious. ESPN, if you're looking in, watching in, what excuse could they should have won the Super Bowl last 3 years, according to you, but they haven't. Why not? They got the talent there. What's wrong with the LA Rams? Well, you point to bad coaching decisions. The guy you all proclaim as the greatest coach on the earth. I'm going to tell you what. If LA Rams don't win the Super Bowl this year, who are you going to point your finger at? They got the players. They got the talent they had last 3 years. ESPN, tell me what your excuse is this year. I got the Rams winning the division, and I got Seattle second, San Francisco third, Arizona. Why are you playing football there? I got 2 teams coming out of the West to the playoffs. Just 2.
I can tell you why the Rams didn't win the Super Bowl the last 3 years. Because Seattle won it, Philadelphia won it, and Kansas City won it.
But according to ESPN, they were the greatest team on the planet with the greatest coach on the planet. ESPN explained to me why they didn't win it. I want to know why the media hype is on LA Rams, like the LA Dodgers. They're buying their way into a title. It's the LA way. It used to be the New York way. The Yankees, the Giants. He's not here to defend them.
Yeah. Sure as hell.
We got
Jets.
we actually got a weigh-in from one of our people. Zach actually has hold on one sec. He has the Rams, Niners, Seattle, which is interesting.
That's fair.
If the Niners stay healthy, they can finish up and they can challenge LA for that title in the West. But they don't have the track record. Yeah, they got Mike Evans now. Yeah, they got Deebo Samuel back. I don't know what's going on with IU. They still have Kittle. They still have CMC, which is huge. Brock Purdy is a decent quarterback. I'm not saying he's great, but he is decent. But can he lead them?
But they lost one of their main receivers too. Pascal's out for the year.
Yeah.
So
and they also don't have. I don't know what they're doing with Ayuk right now. Ayuk is just kind of hanging in limbo, man. I mean, they're not trading him. They're not doing anything there. They did lose Jawan Jennings, who was serviceable at the receiver position. He wasn't anything great, but you know they still have decent offensive line. They I don't know. They're decent there, but if Trent Williams stays healthy, that gives them a great left tackle. You know, one of the best in NFL. Their defense, I'm going to say a little shaky yet. Fred Warner's good, but they're not the Rams on defense. I'll put it that way.
I will tell you what they do have. They probably have. I would say it's hard to say he's the best now, but I would say one of the best coaches in football. You know, Kyle's a really good coach. He's done a lot with some really crappy situations. You know, I would say like last year and the year before where they were injury riddled. That's hard. That's hard to put together a team every week. And somehow they still make the playoffs. You know, it's like he's a very good coach. It's just when is he going to finally get over the hump?
How come Sean McVay can't do that with LA? They get a player injured. I mean, Kyle Shanahan is twice as good a coach as Sean McVay, who rides his daddy's coattails. I'm telling you, ESPN, start finding your excuses right now. Sean McVay is not the answer. Kyle Shanahan is. I like Kyle. I like that comment. Kyle Shanahan, good coach.
Yeah.
Not quite.
Sean McVay, better coach. I mean, okay. When's the last time the Rams had a losing record?
Well, they haven't.
Right.
It's been quite a while.
Right.
But ESPN's making it sound like they should win the Super Bowl every year. And with that talent, why are they doing it? Why aren't they doing it? It's not the talent.
Well, let's go back to this, though. This is why I hated watching Chiefs games. Because the networks showed Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift. Every time something happened, Taylor Swift. Right?
Yes.
Why? Why did they do that? Because they brought ratings up. ESPN, they love Sean McVay.
Because it brings rating in.
The guy eats Campbell's soup.
Yeah.
What more do you want from him?
Okay, there's a positive about Sean McVay's Campbell's soup.
But McVay is a good coach.
He's a good recruiter. Good put to get teams together.
Okay.
He makes teams better with the personnel they've got. Yeah, that's McVay. But when it comes to coaching decisions with the players you have on the field, there's no excuse why you can't win a Super Bowl year after year with the talent you got on LA.
Is Sirianni a good coach?
Sirianni's a decent coach.
Okay.
I'm sorry, bro.
How many Super Bowls have they been to in the last few years? 3? I guess if you count the one against New England, there's 4.
Right. Yeah, but that wasn't Sirianni. Sirianni's been to 2.
So both Chiefs ones, right?
Both Chiefs, yes.
Okay, so the Eagles have been in 3. Well, if you take a look, McVay took Jared Goff and a Rams team to the Super Bowl. Yeah, they got spanked by the Patriots in that defense. He also has taken them to a Super Bowl against the Bengals with Matthew Stafford. Okay. So he's been to the same amount as Sirianni has. Kyle Shanahan has been to 2 with the Niners. Both of them were lost to the Chiefs. Hey, look who came to join us at your house.
Wow. He shows up every time talking about the New York Giants.
What we've been doing, we've been watching, I don't know what you've been doing. We're going through the divisions and we're giving our breakdown of how we think they're going to finish this year. We just finished with the NFC. Right now, we have the Commanders winning the East, the Bears winning the North, the Saints winning the South, and the Cardinals winning.
Philly ain't winning the East.
Well, we all took Philadelphia. Make your point about the Giants here.
Now,
where I've got second.
what did I say, though? Who was going to be right on their heels? I said the Giants were going to be right on their heels in that NFC East.
And I concur.
Giants are going to have one of the best run-stop defenses in the division. And once you stop the run, you win games. And when you run the ball, which they're going to be able to do very, very well because they have a great offensive line with wide receivers that are going to open up that run game. When you run the ball well, what do? Oh, yeah, you win big games. They will go undefeated against Philly, and they will win the division.
But I did say this. Their secondary is very weak.
They're not going to get to the secondary. You got to have time for the secondary to be a problem.
I'm just saying
Just
their
time
secondary is weak. Do you agree?
I agree. If there's a
That's what I'm
weakness,
saying.
there is. But
That
we're going to have the most sacks probably in the NFC, not in the East. We're probably going to have the most sacks in the NFC, maybe in the league. Rams defense might be better right
Okay.
at sacking.
So you're saying the Giants win?
Yeah.
The East. Who's second?
Philly,
Who's third?
Washington,
And, well,
Dallas.
hey,
We all agree.
No,
We
we
all-
did not agree.
he was the only one that didn't pick Dallas to finish last.
I picked Dallas
Right.
finish third.
But
Really?
Texas Homer, you know,
I'm just curious. Is there a division that you think that they should be last in?
Who, Dallas?
Yeah.
the NFC
yeah.
South and the
How about the
West.
NFC South of
Oh, no,
Atlanta,
West.
Carolina? That's a bad division. Tampa
That-
Bay, New
But
Orleans.
see, they fit right in.
They
They
win
would
that-
fit right in.
they win
As a
South.
bad division, a bad team.
All right, Jeff, let's go back.
Sorry.
In the NFC North, we
It's the
all
toughest division right there.
I think we all took the
Ooh.
Lions to win the NFC North. I took Green Bay second. You took Green Bay second. He took Chicago second.
I'm taking Chicago to win the division.
Really?
See?
Yeah.
I don't
Thank
think
you,
they're
Jeff.
going to be.
Thank you.
I think they're going to take that step.
So here's what I'm saying they're not. 2 years ago, Jason Daniels, the Commanders, they had that great year, right?
Yep.
They won those games at the end. They shouldn't have won. That's what I saw with the Bears last year. And I am not sold as Caleb Williams as that quarterback yet.
Caleb Williams has a lot of experience, and now they gave him a better line. They improved his wide receivers. And
Coaching.
coaching got better.
Much better.
And they have arguably a good defense. I'm not saying a great defense, but in that division, that's a good defense. Detroit, they lost. They lost a lot. They had a miracle run, and last year proved that it was a flash in the pan. Green Bay, Love's not the guy. Love's not the guy. They need to go search for a different quarterback.
He's better than what Minnesota's got right now. They can't decide who the quarterback should be. Ex-Oklahoma quarterback and Kyler Murray? Or are you going to stand as high as Jose Altuve? Or do you?
Do you want me to argue with you? Is that what you're trying to do?
No,
Because
I
I can't. I'm not going to argue.
Jordan Love is better than any Minnesota quarterback right now.
Yes, which is why Minnesota's last.
Yes.
All right, Brian.
But that's why I just had to throw in why I didn't have Green Bay in the second spot or trying to win the division. But I do think it's Detroit and Chicago. I think it's Detroit's division to lose, and I think they will. I think Chicago will edge them.
All right. Who do you have in the South?
Oh, that's such a tough one. 'Cause they're all so bad.
We all took Atlanta.
We all took Atlanta.
And, that's probably the popular pick because,
Bijan Robinson.
yeah, they have
Drake
probably the
London,
best players.
Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. What's gonna decide that division isn't their interplay; it's how well they do in their non-division play.
What I said is you're going to have a team go to the playoffs with an 8-9 record out of that division.
The losing
Maybe
record. I agree
maybe
with
even a 7-10, because someone's got to go out of that division.
Yeah.
And they're not. That whole division, they're not going to win a lot of games.
No. And then the West, I think we all took the Rams, right?
Yeah, how do you not take the Rams?
Yeah.
I mean, they keep getting better every time you turn on the TV.
Well, recruiting's good there.
I'm just saying.
Not the coaching, the recruiting is good.
Every time you turn on TV, they got something else that's improving them, and they're good enough already.
All right. Well, we're going to move on now to the AFC.
Old school.
And as,
I like it.
School.
and as Howard Cosell would have said, the AFC live from Baltimore, Maryland. AFC East, they've got Buffalo, New England, the mighty flying New York Jets, and the ever-sinking Miami Dolphins. And Jeff, you just came in. That's who the magazine picked and how they picked them in order. How do you see it?
The biggest question in this division is the Jets or Miami the worst team in the league?
Miami.
You think so?
Yeah,
I mean, Jets pretty bad,
they are.
and they get worse as the season goes on every year. I mean,
But Miami's horrible.
they are.
Miami is horrible. They lost Tua, which I'm not saying is a huge loss, but yeah,
I can't believe your magazine's picking Buffalo. I got New England. I got New England. New England won that division last year, right?
Yeah, they did.
And then they found their way into a Super Bowl. They didn't do that by accident.
By coaching.
Yeah, that was not by
It
accident.
was a great coach.
I got New England winning the division, Buffalo in second, Jets and Miami fighting it out for last.
Brian.
I got New England winning that division. I don't know what everybody's obsession is with Buffalo. It needs to stop.
You
You know,
just
some-
agreeing with me, don't you?
No, the
Tastes bad in your mouth.
no, I'm just saying
Thanks for letting me go first.
Buffalo just can't get it done. Like, when is everybody going to understand? Like, they lost their coach. McDermott lost his job. So now they have Joe Brady as their coach. I honestly see Buffalo not making the playoffs. Honestly.
I wouldn't go that far, but Buffalo, that big game with Kansas City when they had that shootout, that was Buffalo's best chance that year.
Yes. Yeah.
Their offense was amazing. Their defense was actually stingy. That was their best chance.
But then I would have the Jets, and then Miami's just going to be bad. I would be surprised if Miami wins a game, honestly, because they have Malik Willis as their quarterback.
Just
And
remember,
then
they
they
played the Jets twice.
Yeah, but they lost everybody. They lost everybody. They literally sold out.
Yeah, I hear you. I still want to remind you, they played the Jets twice.
Brian Cook.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you guys. I'm not a Buffalo bandwagon guy here, but they got. There's two reasons why Buffalo, they did lose ground by losing their coach. But when you've got Josh Allen at quarterback and James Cook,
I knew that was coming.
running the football, the right philosophy, they did bring in some pretty good receivers. I agree with that right there. Defensively, it's a big question mark, but I got Buffalo first. I got New England second as they fall. I think the Jets are third, and despite Miami losing their terrible coach, I got them picked last. When they're the coach that wears his pants up to his kneecaps. He went to San Diego, LA now. But I got Buffalo, New England, New York Jets, Miami finishing dead last.
Well, as I always say, don't listen to Brian. I've got New England winning this division again. Buffalo, 3 names that they lost: Matt Milano, Jordan Poyer, and Tre'Davious White off their defense. 3 huge names off of their defense. Not just their coach. And what do they bring in to help? They bring in DJ Moore. Decent receiver, but yeah. And the only thing that James Cook is happy about is Howie Long doesn't play now, because there's no way a Cook would ever get by a Long. And there is no doubt about that. A few years ago,
That's nice.
Jeff was high on the Seahawks before they brought Sam Darnold in. Why were you high on the Seahawks?
Defense.
No. Who was quarterbacking them? And you were like,
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith is now the quarterback at New York. Jeff was a huge. Geno Smith is a good quarterback, guys. Geno Smith can do this stuff.
He wasn't a great quarterback, but he had a great team.
And you know what? You've got Garrett Wilson. You've got Breece Hall. 2 perennial all-pro players for the Jets at running back and wide receiver there. So you've got some talent there in New York. I'm still going to go New England Buffalo. And I agree with Brian Denton. I don't see Buffalo making the playoffs this year. I really, really don't. I think they're going to take a huge step back,
You're gonna just do it
along with some other teams that we are going to get to. And I think the Jets are going to finish maybe 2 games behind Buffalo, will be my thought on that one.
Wow.
And Miami is going to be sitting down in the cellar trying to find Ray Fink.
Laces
Oh,
out,
And
Dan.
he's down putting his isotoners on, going, laces out, Dan, laces out. For those of you who are not old enough to remember, Bruno used to do isotoner glove commercials, okay?
yes, he did.
So, the Dolphins are just a train wreck right now. They are the Jets from the last few years. And that's how I see that going. I really am not sold on the Bills this year. I don't see them making the playoffs. And even if they do, they're going to get in as a 6 or 7 seed and probably get knocked out right away.
The good news for Buffalo is they played the Jets in Miami 4 times total.
They do. But I'm going to say right now, Geno Smith beats Buffalo in New York at the Meadowlands. Geno Smith gets the job done and beats Buffalo.
You made fun of me when I was on Geno.
Make sure you
You
people
even brought
remember
in your
this.
buddy from the radio station to come in here and make fun of me about that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And now here you
Do you
are.
know-
Make fun of you.
Do you know what's even more sad? Is that Vegas has the Buffalo as the 3rd best odds to win the Super Bowl. I'm like, where do you see it? I don't see it.
But I mean,
I don't.
Cook.
here's the thing, guys. Look at the Jets' schedule. At Pittsburgh, I don't think they're going to be that good this year. They get Buffalo at home week 2. At Tampa. At Miami. They get the Cowboys at home. Carolina at home. I mean, they're playing the NFC South in their out-of-conference games. And the NFC South is not that good. You got
They might win a couple extra games. They might win a couple extra games.
Yeah. And they also play. They have to play the Browns at home.
Huh.
So, that's.
The Browns.
Your favorite quarterback.
I'm just saying, could you imagine being a Cleveland fan? Being from Cleveland and living that life? I mean,
All right.
how do you leave the state? How do you leave the city? How do you look people in the eye and go, yeah, I'm from Cleveland. Yeah, that means I'm a Browns
You
fan."
talk about the good old days. You talk about when Rick Vaughn and Jake Taylor led them to the World Series. You talk about
Yeah.
All right.
That's awesome.
Let's move on. AFC North. They have it. Cincinnati, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland. I'll go first on this one, and I do agree. I think Cincinnati wins that division hands down. I don't think Pittsburgh and one of those 2 teams is going to have such a down year. I could see it being the Steelers, losing Mike Tomlin, bringing Aaron Rodgers back. Mike McCarthy, wasn't he the guy that was on King of Queens? I don't remember. But anyway, Mike McCarthy has not had a great track record. He had some success up in Green Bay, but he was loaded when he was up there. You're coming into Pittsburgh. You do have DK. You do have, Aaron Rodgers, I think he should have just gotten out when he could have. Get out while you're still up here. Don't keep falling. I think Cleveland will take strides this year. I don't think they're going to.
So you
Make
think
the playoffs?
Sanders is going to get hurt early?
No, I think Deshaun Watson is going to just blow up in everybody's face.
Is he
And
winning the job at this point?
from what I heard,
Right
Deshaun
now,
was
he's
the
edging
leading
now.
candidate to start quarterback. But as we talked about, what Shador did last year wasn't as bad as everybody thought it was going to be.
It wasn't.
Everybody thought he was going to be an imploding whatever.
I mean, he is a POS, but
Again,
he did play better than I expected.
have you heard anything about him in the offseason? He's keeping his mouth shut and he's working. That's what they've been talking about in Cleveland. He's keeping his mouth shut. He's not going social media ballistic. He's just working to get better. And Shador is an athlete. You can't take anything away. Dion was one hell of an athlete, and everybody loved him when he played. And now nobody does, or not many people do.
No, wait. No one hates Dion for what he did when he played.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, Dion was a
It's-
guy.
It's after what he has done. When he started coaching,
Dion is literally the best cornerback to ever step foot on an NFL field.
and I agree with you, but what I'm saying,
Ever.
No.
Ever.
No.
And he'll probably live to 100 years from now and still will be the best cornerback
He's a
ever to
great
play the
He's
game.
not the best
Yes,
defensive back.
who would you even put in his...
Well, I'm thinking Lester Haynes from
Stop it.
Oakland Raiders.
The guy was
heck of a
slow.
Great
Oh,
defensive back, Lester Haynes. Look at the San Francisco 49ers defensive backs.
Ronnie Lott
a
was
lot.
a safety.
Well, defensive backfield. I'm sorry. Okay, he was a
He
safety.
wasn't a corner.
Okay, what about hard
Dion
hitting?
took a third of the field and made it his. You can
He
send
was
two
good.
wide receivers into his area, and he guard both of them.
There's one guy that I will put up there with Dion, and that was Rod Woodson.
Really, Woodson?
Woodson can
Not
take
Law?
away. Ty was okay. Darrell Revis was okay. Woodson was a shutdown.
Deion Sanders is the best by far. These other names were all thrown out there. You're stretching. Every one of them. We're stretching on every one of them.
So why Jeff is now a Buffalo fan. Anyway,
What? How do I become a Buffalo fan?
anyway, Cincinnati, I've got them winning this division. Hopefully Joe Burrow gets a whole 17-game season this year. The Ravens, losing Harbaugh, step back. The Steelers, losing Tomlin, step back. The Browns, they're going to stay right in that. They may get a couple extra wins this year. Again, I see one team going to the playoffs out of this division. Brian?
I agree. I think the Bengals should probably win that division on paper, but I'm actually going to give it to Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh wins the division. I think the Bengals get second, and there's two teams that come out of that division. I think the team that's going to take a step back is Baltimore. I think Baltimore is going to be in a world of hurt. And then obviously I think the Browns are the worst team in that division, but I think, like Derek said, I could even see them maybe pulling ahead of Baltimore. But I think Baltimore's going to be bad. I really do.
I disagree with you. I think Baltimore did take a step back, losing your favorite Harbaugh, but they still have Derrick Henry as running back. He's a
They're not going to use
massive
him.
force in the backfield. As long as Jackson stays healthy at quarterback, he's got Zay
Whoa.
Flowers out there at receiver. I think they're going to win the division. It's just Baltimore. Their defense will be solid. I think Cincinnati finished second. I think Joe Burrow, as long as he stays healthy, will be good. Pittsburgh and a senior citizen quarterback will not win the division. Sorry. And Cleveland, because it's Cleveland. I mean, every country has their city they joke about. You know, the United States teases Cleveland, and if you live in Russia, they tease Cleveland too. And that's not bad. But I got Cleveland will finish last.
Jeffrey?
I got Cincinnati winning that division, but I got Baltimore falling. Maybe even below Cleveland because Lamar Jackson is not a quarterback. He's one of the worst excuses of a quarterback, and that's why Harbaugh left.
You talk about Deion Sanders stretching the field. That's what Lamar Jackson does.
That's not what Lamar Jackson does. Lamar Jackson is a running back that throws interceptions.
He rolls out and leaves room for Derrick Henry to run up the middle.
Did they do that last year?
They did. That's why they
Did
didn't
they?
succeed.
Did you know why they didn't do that last year?
Well, he's
Because there was a fight between the head coach Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson on how that offense is supposed to run. Lamar Jackson won that argument, and they backed him up by firing Harbaugh. And this is going to be the Lamar Jackson show again, which will fall short because running quarterbacks just don't pull enough. It's not.
There's only one time that a franchise sided with a quarterback that it really worked out. Otherwise, there's really no other time that it's ever worked out. And I would say that was honestly Elway when Reeves got fired. Was that it worked out? They got Shanahan. They won 2 Super Bowls.
Did
But
that really work out for him? I mean, Elway played in the league how long? 16? 15? Elway.
16.
16 years. So they went 14 years without winning a Super Bowl, and yet you say that worked out. Bringing John Elway in. Bringing John
They got
Elway
2.
didn't work out for him. It took them 14 years of no Super Bowls until they brought in Terrell Davis.
They did go to the Super Bowl.
They did go, but they didn't win none.
Right.
Yeah, because, John Elway was not the guy. He was not all that. And he said things that, I'm not.
I didn't
At all.
I rooted against Elway, but
All Horsemouth didn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Because no. He didn't work out for Denver. Denver, if they would have picked someone else, would have went to Super Bowls and won them. Because they had defenses that should have won Super Bowls.
The LA Rams.
Denver
they
didn't
had
pick
great
him.
coaches.
I know.
The Colts picked
The
him.
Colts picked him.
But then they had to trade him or he was going to go play baseball.
Go play baseball.
Like
They should have let him go play baseball.
You know who else pulled that crap, right?
Eli
did, absolutely. I'm really glad that worked out.
But I'm trying to figure this out too. Eli did not want to go to San Diego.
Correct.
And, was it because Breeze was there? Or was it because
He could live up to Dan Fouts.
he didn't want to go?
He didn't want to be on the West Coast anymore. I mean, he played for Stanford.
No, he didn't. He played for
No,
Ole
he
Miss.
Ole Miss. Sorry. Ole Miss. I'm still thinking about Elway.
Well, let's move on. The AFC South. I'll let Brian Cook start with this one.
Well, you know what
They have the garbage can beating
Oh my
Houston
God, here we
Astros,
go.
or Texans, I'm sorry. Jacksonville, Indianapolis, and Tennessee. And I'm sure you have the Houston team winning it all.
Well, they got the best coach in the NFL right now. D'Amico Ryan's best
Sean
coach
McVay
right
up
now.
there.
The best defense in the NFL right now. You cannot argue with me on that. LA Rams have a good defense, great defense. Houston's even better. I like that. They brought in a guy named David Montgomery to run the football. You don't need C.J. Stroud. You got a running back now that can run the football consistently, and David Montgomery. Houston, hands down, runs away with that division because of their defense and their coach. I got Houston. I got Jacksonville second. I got Tennessee third because I like the Tennessee coach they brought in, and Indianapolis with the quarterback that was a giant favorite. Daniel Jones will finish last.
Jeff?
I agree. The Texans are going to win that division. I don't knowing how to place the other three. You know, I mean, I can't put Indianapolis in second with Danny Dimes, but Jackson. So maybe Jacksonville. I don't know. I don't even know how to rate the other three. I would go with if I'm forced, I'd put Jacksonville second. Indy 3.
Brian?
I do agree. I think the Texans win that division. The only problem is that they have CJ Stroud, and that's the reason they didn't go farther in the playoffs last year. But that division is not good. I think Jacksonville takes a step back for sure. And Indianapolis. I think both of them take a step back. I could actually see Tennessee finish in second, and then I see Jacksonville and then Indianapolis. I know Indianapolis does have a great running back, but they don't have anything else. They just don't have anything else.
I just can't believe they didn't go get another quarterback.
Who?
Indianapolis.
They got Danny Dimes.
I know. Yeah. New York Giants legend.
It's what I just said.
How many years did we have to listen to how great Geno Smith was in Seattle? How many years did we have to hear how great Danny Dimes was?
I did not say that ever. I said he's having a better year than last year, baby. But I always wanted him gone. I need to go back. Fans that were saying, "Can we get our $3 million back?"
But you also said Brian Daboll was a good coach.
Well, I had high hopes.
I need to go back and find some tape, I think. That's what I need to do.
Derek, come on, I admit it.
Well, just because it is a weak division,
It's not.
the Texans will win. The Jaguars will finish second. I would have them winning it, but they don't have a running game now. They got rid of Travis Etienne. He went to New Orleans. I would put the Colts back up there because they do have Jonathan Taylor, a good, strong running back. They do have Tyler Warren, a good tight end. They just don't have anybody else to throw to because they sent Michael Pittman to the Steelers. And the Titans are not there yet. I think Cam Ward will be a good quarterback in a few more years. They just don't have anything around him. They don't have a defense. They just don't have the talent around Ward yet. Give him a few more years, get some other players in there, and get that going. So by default, I'm going to have to take the garbage can beating Houston Astros Texans. Well, I'm sure they probably do it too somehow, some way.
I'm just saying, can't we let, Texas always talks about defecting every time a Democrat wins.
Mm-hmm.
Can we just have a Democrat win and let Texas defect?
We could.
Just keep them out of the whole situation.
I will say this about Houston. Again, what's the name Brian gives Oklahoma? Choklahoma?
Yeah.
Choklahoma.
The Chokelands is what we're going to call them because they never get it done in the playoffs. What were they up on Kansas City a few years ago in the one playoff game?
Oh my, that hurt.
That's
painful.
And what did they end up losing by?
Kind of like Houston Oilers losing to Buffalo that year. They were up by 35 points.
Yeah, but Frank Wright came in.
Yeah. The only
Stop it! Frank
the
Wright
only
came
time
in.
Houston, well, the only time the Titans ever got, or not the Titans, but
Oilers.
the Oilers going into the Titans was when they cheated and threw a forward pass on a lateral.
Whoa!
Miracle.
We have watched the miracle many times.
Go watch it again. It was a forward pass.
That is not a forward pass.
But if you look at last year, they should have beaten New England in the playoffs last year.
Who?
The only reason
The
Texans should have beat New England.
Stop it.
They
should
Or had the better team going into that game.
Did
But-
they?
But
Dude, I'm just saying, you turn the ball over 5 times, you're not winning.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but that it was the fact that it was that close, like they should have won that game, easy.
Defense wins championships.
all right, let's move to our final division of the night, and that is the AFC West. Brian, we'll start with you out in Colorado because we already know who you're going to take to win the division, and then we'll come in with our smart picks.
I honestly do think Denver wins the division. However, I think the reason that I think that the reason that they win the division is because Patrick Mahomes isn't going to start the first 5 weeks. So I just don't see Kansas City being
He
able to
does
get
not
in.
look good. Every time
And
they show a clip, his knee's swollen, he's hobbling.
but
You're right.
I honestly I would say Kansas City to win the division, but with him being out the first few weeks, I think that they're just gonna concede it as long as they get a playoff berth. They don't care. Um, I think it's Denver, Kansas City, and then LA. I could actually see them two flip flop, maybe Kansas City and LA. And then obviously the Raiders. I think the Raiders will be better, but not good. They have a really tough first 8 weeks of the schedule. But I honestly think that the three teams come out of that division
What?
for the playoffs. It happened last year.
So you
And I
have
see it
Denver
again.
winning it,
Yes,
Kansas City second, or San Diego
Yep.
second, or Los Angeles, whatever you want to call it.
I'll put Kansas City second,
Good.
and then LA.
Brian?
Hold on a second, my friends. I got a shocker right here. I said 2 weeks ago the most improved team would be the Harbaugh-led
Cheaters.
LA Chargers. The Chargers win the division. Justin Herbert's going to have a great year this year. They got a strong, powerful running back. I like their defensive philosophy there. At LA Chargers will win the division. I got Kansas City finished second, and Denver in third, Vegas in fourth. But I got the Chargers win that division. I think Herbert's going to surprise some people this year.
I hate this division. I just hate it. I hate everything about it. You got the cheater Jim Harbaugh over there in LA. You got the dope smoking Denver Broncos, and then you got KC who's injured, who can't seem to get their shit together, and
The Raiders!
and then you got the Raiders
Who got
playing out of Vegas, who they're just getting started. I mean, they're nowhere near ready to be contenders per se. This is a horrible division. And I don't like any of them.
Who you got winning it?
Well, he cheats, so I'm going to give it to the Chargers. He's going to find a way because he cheats,
See? I'm not seeing that.
and he'll be cheating. Yeah, I'm going right with you. KC, they'll come out strong. Denver third. Maybe Raiders. Raiders can beat Denver.
Not a
This
chance.
is a bad team.
Not a chance.
So, Brian, you're talking that Mahomes is out for the first 5 weeks, right?
You say 5 weeks.
From what I heard, it's supposed to be in that 4 to 5 week range
Okay.
somewhere.
So they went out and got a guy who isn't
Fields.
horrible. Not great. He was an Ohio State quarterback, but somebody thinks Ohio State quarterback's going to lead your team to the Super Bowl. Justin Fields will come in. You got Kenneth Walker back there yet. And here's the Chiefs' first 5 weeks. If they don't have Mahomes, they get Denver at home on a Monday night, start the season.
They can win that.
Indianapolis at home, which
They can win that.
Indianapolis is not that great. Then they have to travel down to battle the mighty Dolphins in Miami on the road.
Well, if they lose that, I mean, that would just tell you the whole season.
And then they get the Raiders on the road, and then they get a bye. So 4 games in the first 5 weeks,
They could easily
they can
go.
be 3-1
They could be 4-0.
and 4-0. Denver, on the other hand, the first 5 weeks of the season, at Kansas City to start the year,
That's a loss.
Jacksonville at home,
That could be a loss.
Rams at home,
That's a loss.
at San Fran, at the Chargers, and I'll give you week 6, Seattle at home.
Yeah,
They
could
do
be
have a
5.
Denver does have a tough first schedule. Yes.
Yeah, they could be 1-5 coming out of that.
And
But then the last part of their schedule gets a
the
lot
last
easier.
3 weeks aren't. They get Buffalo, at New England, and the Chargers.
They get Buffalo Christmas Day, but Buffalo's
I
gonna
feel
suck.
better about Denver being third now.
I mean, granted, the meat of their schedule in the middle: Arizona, Carolina, Vegas, Pittsburgh, Miami, and Benny and the Jets. So
I want to change
Vegas
my
again.
pick. Kansas City's going to win that division.
That's who I'm taking is the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I'm
Chiefs
taking
gonna
the
win that
Chiefs to
division.
win that division. Denver did not make any moves this year. They did.
That's not true.
And Waddle.
It's not true.
Okay, they got Waddle.
Waddle.
But again, like I said with Caleb Williams, I know he's an Oregon kid. He's out in Denver now. I'm not sold on Bo Nix yet. I got to see something else out of him. The Chargers,
Cheaters.
I don't think they're going to be as good as everybody thinks they're going to be. I think they're going to regress back.
Yeah, they need a new coach.
Again, the only Harbaugh that could ever win a Super Bowl is John.
I agree.
We're in New York.
I just
I would agree
don't
before
think
that.
Jim is the coach that's going to lead the Chargers there. Herbert, decent quarterback.
What has he done?
I said decent. He's manageable.
Yeah,
You know.
power running back in Omar Hampton.
Amari on Hampton.
That's their best That's the best thing they got.
But the receiving core, besides McConkey, is not the greatest. Their offensive line isn't the greatest. And you have
The problem with the Chargers offense is people are going to stack the box.
oh yeah.
They're going to stack the box and force them to throw.
So
Force them to throw.
I know Mahomes is going to be out maybe a few weeks, but what did Justin Fields do? Great. He ran the ball, and Kansas City, Eric Bieniemy coming back as offensive coordinator, he's game planning. Okay, if I have Fields at starting quarterback, I'm doing this. If I have Mahomes at starting quarterback, we're going to do this.
There's a lot going on there.
You've got Xavier Woods, you got Rashee Rice, you got Kelsey still, who's on the downhill slide of his career, yes. But Fields throwing little 5-yard passes to Kelsey, who can turn them into 12 to 15-yard gains.
He's kind of looking chubby now he's married.
Well, that happens.
Changed his last name to Swift.
But I'm going to go KC,
You'd be a
Denver,
Swift, it's not that
San Diego.
Swift.
And the Raiders, I think, are going to make some ground up on the Chargers this year. I'm just not sold with San Diego. I think the Chiefs, just because of Denver's schedule and Kansas City's schedule, Denver, Chargers, San Diego. I call them San Diego. That's where they belong. I think that's the way that one's going to finish out. And I can see Denver getting a wild card, but I don't know if they're going to win that West this year.
I think there's only one team coming out of this division.
No, because all the other divisions are too damn weak. All of the other divisions in the AFC are too weak. There could possibly be 3 coming out of this one, just because the AFC East, the Patriots and the Bills are the only 2 that have a shot. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Baltimore, but I see maybe 2 out of there.
Cincinnati and Pitt.
And the AFC South, I mean, I don't see Jacksonville and Indianapolis having enough power to get, I mean,
right.
they may slide in.
Those teams got to come from somewhere, I guess.
Yeah. So I think the AFC is the weaker conference this year over the NFC. I think the NFC has better quality teams right now than the AFC does. But I think with the addition of Kenneth Walker, that's what's going to
The NFC is usually the better conference.
A few years ago it wasn't. When you had Baltimore at their prime, Buffalo at their prime, the Chiefs at their prime, Cincinnati was good. New England was still on the backside of Brady. They were still good.
Okay.
So, Brian, any final thoughts on tonight?
I don't have anything.
You still sticking with Denver Philly Super Bowl?
Yep.
All right. Brian, any final thoughts?
Yeah, we all unanimously picked one team to win a division this year, and that was Houston in the South So that tells you something that we all believe in defense. Yes, I still have.
No, we all believe it's a weak division, and they're the only team that comes to the top on that
I
one.
still have the Texans and Rams in the Super Bowl. Two best defenses.
Dude, I thought you had the Dolphins, Cardinals. Anyway, Jeff, any final thoughts?
Make Denver and Chargers burn in hell. Past that, duh.
Well, we are thankful you all tuned in here tonight. We want to thank you for spending an hour or a little over an hour of your time with us on a Thursday night. As we said, preseason is starting. Your fantasy drafts next week. We're going to talk a little fantasy football on the show for you. We're going to get that going. Like I said, unless something big happens in the college spectrum of things, we're probably not going to talk that until the season starts, just because there's not a lot happening right now with that. So we're going to kick a little fantasy football off next week, and we're going to see how smart Brian Cook actually is. He always talks about how he's got the greatest fantasy draft in the world.
Yeah, right.
But how many times have you won?
I've won some leagues. Yeah.
Rings.
I've won some leagues.
On our league.
Oh, in our league, we finished second once.
Oh, good. You were the first loser.
You know,
Anyway.
I won a lot, and then Derek took the lead from me.
Because you shit.
And then I had to win since then.
I think I screwed one year by a stat adjustment that got me kept out of the championship.
Derek's just mad because I told him someone was hurt when they weren't.
Yeah.
At the draft.
But anyway, yes, next week we're going to talk a little fantasy football. We're going to break down some of the positions. We're going to break down who your sleeper picks are, who some of your rookie picks are going to be to make a splash in the NFL this year, and all of that. Please go on, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, join us, send it out to your friends. We're trying to build up. We're trying to get up there, and we want to do some more things with this show, and we want to bring you some more good content. So please have an enjoyable weekend. Go watch some NFL preseason football if you would like, and we will see you all next Thursday. You've been watching Tailgate Talk, and
we know
sports.